Welcome friends. Now I discussed about adrenal gland. Adrenal gland are the endocrine gland that are situated in close relation to the superior pole of the kidney. So the two adrenal glands are present by attaching each one to one kidney. Each gland weight about 5 grams functionally, and embryologically different two structural components are present in adrenal glands. The adrenal gland anatomy was first described in 1563. Is located above upper pole of the kidney. Is pyramidal in structure and weighs about, already told you, 4 or 5 grams. Adrenal gland consists of the adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. Adrenal gland activities are regulation of fluid volume, and stress response. This is the adrenal gland anatomy shown in diagrammatic representation for adrenal gland origin. This is the histology of adrenal gland. This is transverse section of adrenal gland. And there are two adrenal glands that lies anteriorly to kidneys. Each is embedded in a capsule of fat. Each adrenal gland is composed of two endocrine organs, one surrounding the other. There are two parts of adrenal gland actually, an adrenal cortex and an adrenal medulla. The adrenal medulla is the inner portion of its secretes epinephrine and norepinephrine, and also called as adrenaline, noradrenaline. When stimulated to do so by the sympathetic nervous system, these two hormones are called catecholamines because it is derived from catecholamine nucleus or dopamine nucleus, and are involved in the fight or flight hormones, and also called as fight or flight hormones. The adrenal cortex is the outer portion and secretes a variety of steroid hormones called corticosteroids, and these corticosteroids are derived from cholesterol nucleus. Now coming to adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex is divided into 3 zones and the adult gland. It is divided into 4 zones in fetal gland. It is a difference between adult and fetal adrenal gland. The 3 zones of the permanent cortex consistently continues only 20% of the fetal gland size. The remaining zone comprises up to 80% of gland size during fetal life. About 80% of the adrenal cortex is composed of number 1 zona glomerulosa, the outermost region or layer, and second one is zona fasciculata, the middle and largest portion, and third one is zona reticularis, the innermost layer. All 3 layers secrete corticosteroids, of which cholesterol is the common precursor. Already told you. Coming to actions of adrenal gland. On the basis of their primary action, adrenal steroids can be divided into 3 categories. Number 1, mineralocorticoids, that is aldosterone, which influences mineral or electrolyte balance from zona glomerulosa. And second one is glucocorticoids, is also known as cortisol. The best example is cortisol, which plays a role in glucose metabolism and proteins and lipids as well form of zona fasciculata. And third one is sex hormones. This identical to these produced by the glands, that is male testes, female ovaries, as you know, from zona reticularis. Now coming to mineralocorticoids. From mineralocorticoids from the zona glomerulosa, aldosterone is the primary one. Most important effect is on electrolyte balance. It is primary site of action is the distal tubule of the kidney or nephron, where it promotes sodium retain into the blood and enhances potassium elimination into the urine filtrate. If sodium ions is retained, H2O is osmotically attached to sodium and therefore to attracted to sodium ions and therefore is retained as well. And this increase in water and the blood causes an increased blood volume. This is important in the logarithm regulation of blood pressure. As I told you, blood pressure is normal blood pressure is 80 by 120 and it is improved logarithm regulation of blood pressure. Without mineralocorticoids, death will occur due to large loss of plasma volume that would be lead to circulatory shock. Other hormone deficiencies won't cause death directly, but problems could lead to premature death. Now I coming to regulation of aldosterone release secretion. Aldosterone is one of the adrenal cortical hormone. It's very effective hormone in our system. Aldosterone is related due to one is activation of the renin angiotensin system in the kidneys and related to sodium ions and in controls BP. And second one is direct stimulation of the adrenal cortex by increasing in blood sodium ion concentration. This zones is relatively independent of the anterior pituitary hormone influences of adrenocorticotrophic hormone, that is also known as ACTH. Now coming to glucocorticoids. Glucocorticoids from the zona fasciculata and its metabolic effects. The main glucocorticoid is cortisol, already discussed before. From the zona fasciculata and it has an important role in carbohydrate, fat and protein metabolism. Overall, cortisol main effect is to increase concentration of blood glucose at the expense of fat and proteins.